Hey, how's it going? Welcome to a new series that I've decided to do, and I've decided to name it Skate Nuggets. What it really is are small nuggets of information or clips or news stories that are skate related, just to give the channel a little bit of variation. And today this is the first skate nugget, so enjoy. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're bearing up okay during this really strange time for the world. It's because of that I'm making this video. So if you're at home and maybe bored, stuck for things to do, this video is 14 skate related things that you can watch to pass the time. Number 1. Skateboard Kings. This was a documentary made by the BBC in 1978. It documents Tony Alva and friends transitioning from the surf scene into skateboarding on days when there were no waves. It's really good, really historical thing to watch, and I highly recommend it. It's great. It's kind of classic 70s documentary style, but it's great fun to watch and a great history lesson. Number 2, Bones Brigade, an autobiography. This one is a documentary looking back at the legendary Pal Peralta Bones Brigade skate team from their rise in the 80s.
People, they only see the outcome, but they don't know what really goes into it.
The guys used to spit on Tony back in the day.
It was so discouraging that I was gonna quit.
How in the world could this guy be the world champion and just walk away from it?
My dad, he never wanted me to skate. And he goes, "You're going nowhere in life, and I'm doing this to save you."
I was miserable at everything I tried to do. I rode a bike, tried to do a wheelie, the front wheel fell off, I crashed. Skateboarding, it was the first time I was good at something. Not only were they unknown, they were all picked as a very young crew.
When we got into skating, you did not become rich or famous if you were good at skateboarding. No one did, no matter how good you were.
I just remember looking at my arms and the goosebumps, and I just witnessed history.
It was the moment where skateboarding became skateboarding.
Hawk just got bigger and bigger every time I came out of jail. I was pushing a shopping cart, Hawk was on a Slurpee cup.
I'm here in representation of thousands of other kids who worship those guys as well, and whose lives that those guys changed.
When I started skating, it gave me a sense of identity, it gave me a sense of self-confidence, it gave me a purpose.
Teachers would reach out, "Is he autistic?" or I don't know. Skateboarding, what it represented, the ability to create, to express myself, it became my voice.
I just look back at my life and I feel so blessed to be a part of this whole scene.
Highly recommended to watch, and another great history lesson. Number 3, Steve Rocco, the man who sold the world.
Once upon a time, there was a man. The man's name was Steve Rocco. And this is his story.
Mixed in with skateboard articles and stories of graphic sex is an article that details how to kill yourself.
El Segundo police are looking into the magazine, but they say one of the problems is they're not sure if the Roccos have broken any laws.
We looked at all the rules that everybody else had and went, this is stupid. We're not playing by these rules. We're going to have our own rules.
His name is Steve Rocco.
Anybody who could afford a skateboard, steal a skateboard, or buy a skateboard, I think they're all interested during that time.
I would say what Dogtown did, the image, the impact they left, World Industries absolutely left the same imprint, but in a different way.
This one documents the rise of World Industries skateboards, coming from the point of view of Steve Rocco and building the brand, and the real turning point at that point in time where the big brands were getting pushed to the side by smaller, more innovative, fresher brands, and World Industries was certainly one of those.
Not video me. I don't want to be on video.
He is the best thing that ever happened to skateboarding. I don't know if anybody else thinks that.
He was actually like broadcasting change to skateboarders around the world.
I mean, that was a real time of high energy and a lot of creativity.
No more for heavy metal!
It was like a revolution in skateboarding.
I love Rocco. Kill Rocco.
Everything that wasn't cool, we did. Because we were just like, this, you're defining us?
I'm Johnny Knoxville, United States of America, and I'll be doing a little article on self-defense equipment.
It was like just running amok, tagging on the walls, skating with blank boards down the steps, climbing the walls. It was chaos.
As much as I loved how creative and stuff it was, but there was a point where it turned into a real mob mentality, and I didn't like that about it.
Okay, here's the thing about skaters. It's pretty simple. You set them loose, they do whatever they want. They will destroy everything around, and you can sit there and laugh at it, but the problem is when they're done destroying everything, then they go for you.
With the man who solved the world.
Steve Rocco kind of threw out the rule book and did everything his way and sort of pioneered a new breed of skate brand. Number 4, All This Mayhem.
Don't want the Pappas brothers to be remembered as just maniacs. Growing up, it was pretty hectic. It was me and Ben against the world. We were always looking for a rush, smashing things or finding a stolen car. Everyone does, don't they? Didn't they? Had these huge dreams. Gone to America, got a smash walk. Oh my God! Who are these guys?
They were powerhouses. They just killed all the contests.
The best in the world right now.
They just go for it.
Whoa! We just didn't want the party to end. What are you gonna do when you're young, on top of the world?
Mushrooms.
Ice.
Cocaine.
There was a mound of it. It looked like Scarface. Hey, it was party time. You gotta stop doing that shit.
They became impossible to deal with.
Right there was when it started to go sour. Next thing you know, we hear doom doom on my roof, and it's a beer bottle with a sock on fire and it full of petrol.
We did things to let him know, you can leave now.
Me and Ben realized right then and there who we're up against.
It turned ugly really fast.
Turned into like a personal war.
I was forced to face my issues.
You reap what you sow, pretty much karma.
You never thought that one of your good friends could do that?
It was full-blown mayhem.
The crowd loved that.
This one documents the rise of the Pappas brothers from Australia, who came from a small local skate scene and built their way up into competing internationally. And with that competition success came all kinds of excesses, culminating in criminal activity, just absolute mayhem, and ultimately tragedy. It's a really good documentary and shows another side of the top-end skateboarding at that time. Again, a really good watch. Check it out. Number 5, Stoked, the rise and fall of Gator.
Mark! What? Where are you going? Skating. Did you clean your room and make your bed?
Sure, yeah, sure.
When I
first met him, he must have been like 14, and he was skating pro.
He was really, really serious about it because you could see it in his eyes.
Kids loved him. They would just run past me and go to Gator. Gator, Gator, Gator all the way, yeah!
He was always like, you know, top 3, top 5. One of the best all-around skateboarders ever in the history.
The mid-'80s was the genesis of skateboarding being marketed to the mainstream of American youth.
One of the reasons I started Vision Streetwear was because of Mark.
I think I need to be interviewed not only because I'm one of the most elite skaters on the circuit, but also because I'm one of the most blatant and outspoken jerks in the industry.
We created a tour to raise the level of awareness. Gator was clearly a star of the tour. We created a huge press image for him.
He took it upon himself to get good, but the entire business and marketing to the point where he got very good at it, maybe too good for his own benefit.
Fame is one of the worst drugs of all.
They recognized him as a skate stud.
You could have easily forgot where he came from, and you're making money, and a lot of money, you know?
Street skating became the hot thing to do. Vert skating was completely out.
There was a moment in time that was starting to be over.
When Gator was drinking, anything could happen. What are you laughing at?
What do you do with yourself when your fame's gone?
I thought that Mark and I would get married and live happily ever after.
It's all bad.
I just hope that he realizes how he affected everyone's life.
This is a Baryshnikov ballet of skateboarding.
I apologize for making a mess, for going out of control, and for bringing a bad name to skateboarding.
How do you plead to that charge? It kills me.
This one's another documentary about a rise to fame of a skateboarder, Mark Gator Rogowski, who was one of the most well-known skaters of the time through the 80s, and again led to massive success and excess, and another story that ends in bizarre tragedy. Completely harrowing story, another history lesson that every skateboarder should know about. Number 6, Dogtown and the Z-Boys. This one is a documentary by Stacy Peralta, and it's about the same scene as the Skateboard Kings documentary.
We were the guys that would have been chosen last to succeed.
We're from Venice. It was dirty, it was filthy, it was paradise. Our history is based on lowriders and hot rods.
It was Dogtown, and Dogtown was a place where you had to have eyes in the back of your head.
There wouldn't be any X Games if it wasn't for that whole scene.
Most of us came from broken homes. We had these shirts, and we had dark blue Vans, and that was our uniform.
There was a scary thing about it, like, wow, these guys will kick your...
The Zephyr team had guys with all different styles and really sparked a revolution.
We were emulating all of these surfers that we idolized.
We did extensive searching looking for backyard pools.
We would drive up and down the alleys, standing on the roofs of the cars.
We'd drain a 30,000-gallon swimming pool in less than 4 hours.
The water had to go and they had to be ridden, man.
We really didn't know what was possible. It had never been done before.
There was no promise in it. There was no nothing in it.
And all of a sudden we said, whoa, wait a minute. There's something more to this.
People are looking at these magazines and they're seeing us.
My deal was like, I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna do it all right now.
All of a sudden, everyone is famous and they know it.
The tension was really high.
I could see that things were just gonna cave in.
Things don't always work out how you kind of want them to, you know what I mean?
It turned into like a rock star thing, you know?
For some reason, by doing something that everyone said was a waste of time, we ended up influencing kids all around the world.
Well, I was on summer vacation for about 20 years.
This one was obviously made a lot later, looking back at those times, and directed by Stacy Peralta, who was one of the Zephyr skate team that the documentary is about. So the Z-Boys were the Zephyr skate team, and also features Tony Alva and the other guys from that scene at the time. Another fantastic history lesson, and just a great movie in general. So check that one out. Number 7, Rising Sun, the legend of skateboarder Christian Hosoi.
I remember when I was skating, I was thinking, what else can you do? You know, and then 5 years later, whoa, shit.
I definitely knew when we go to a contest, Christian was the guy to beat. There was no doubt.
He shook the ramp.
He did the best 540s in the book.
You can see the silhouette of Christian from blocks away and know it's him.
There'll never be someone that rode a vert ramp like Christian did.
Christian was a star, making a lot of money.
Straight up rock star. The rock star.
Rock stars.
Rock star.
Rock star.
Rock star. Rock star. Rock star.
And he was perfect candidate for it.
We were partying all night. There was a million girls.
They all like Christian.
You kind of felt cool riding the coattails.
Early 90s, it became street skating only. Vert is dead is what the magazine covers were.
We could see that the sky was falling.
You better move out of your house and sell your ramp.
I'm maybe doing meth a little bit here and there. It was starting off where you do a line a day, a couple lines a day, you know, and it was no big deal.
It's not like you just straight out of the gate, you're going for it. It's a progressive disease. It starts out slow and kind of eases its way up.
99, 2000 when it all finally caught up to him.
As soon as I got on a board, it was like all I wanted to be was a pro skateboarder.
This is another one that's a history lesson, and it's kind of the backstory of Christian Hosoi, who is a legendary skateboarder now and shot to fame in the 80s through skating competitions.
People saw the way that he skated, and that made them want to jump on a skateboard.
He was kind of the main competition to Tony Hawk. Christian Hosoi was a bit more of a wild kid and very flamboyant, whereas Tony Hawk was a little bit more straight cut and a sensible kid. And a lot of the time they were both battling for top place in the vert competitions in the 80s. And so there was kind of an air of rivalry between them. But Christian Hosoi, like many other skaters, took the fame pretty tough and got into drugs, and ultimately that was his downfall. This documentary tells that story and his life through those times and coming out the other side to how he is today. So another history lesson and well worth a watch. Number 8, Epically Lated. Okay, so this is not so much one movie or one documentary. It's actually a whole series of documentaries in short episodes. Each one is about a particular legendary skater. I think the series was originally on YouTube and then was picked up by Vice and put on the Viceland channel and grew from there into kind of a cult status. So you'll find some of the really early episodes on YouTube and then the official series on Viceland. But a fantastic series, and this series alone will keep you going for hours and hours. You could binge watch the whole lot and it would take you so long, so it's really worth digging into. Number 9, Abandoned. Another series from Vice, much like Epically Lated. This one isn't strictly skateboarding throughout. It's a skateboarder, Rick McCrank, who travels around the USA looking at abandoned spaces, things like shopping malls and towns, empty abandoned spaces. It's really well made. The cinematography is fantastic and it's just very thought-provoking. And he skates some of those spots as well. So again, another series, lots of great episodes and really well worth watching. Number 10, Post Radical. This one's another series by Rick McCrank, very similar to Abandoned, but this one is documenting skateboarding culture and individuals and what skateboarding means to them. Again, it's just a fantastic magnifying glass on life with a skateboarding theme. If you enjoyed Abandoned, you'll love this. Number 11, Jeff Grosso's Love Letters to Skateboarding. Now this is another series. It's on YouTube and they're very short episodes usually. But if you don't know Jeff Grosso's Love Letters, where have you been? Again, just the best history lessons from Jeff, who was just such a passionate historian as far as skateboarding goes. There's so many episodes about everything to do with skateboarding and all the things that you really need to know. and I think we're really going to miss this series. I hope maybe perhaps they keep it going in tribute to Jeff, or at the very least end the whole thing with a love letter to Jeff Grasso. So rest in peace, Jeff, and definitely check this out. I binge watched the whole lot over a week, a long time ago now, but they're just fantastic little mini documentary episodes. Check them out. Number 12, The 9 Club. If you don't know what The 9 Club is, again, where have you been? It's a fantastic web series on YouTube where the guys get in some of the biggest names in skateboarding ever and interview them and just chat to them for 2-3 hours sometimes. And it's just fantastic to watch. It's also available on a podcast, but I like to watch the video version because you get some more visual cues of what's going on, what's being discussed. So yeah, you just have to watch The 9 Club. Binge watch them all if you need to catch up, but it's just one of the best things available now. Number 13, Minding the Gap. This is a coming of age movie, kids growing up and skateboarding is their refuge.
Take one. I'm making this film because I saw myself in your story.
I always felt like I didn't fit in with my family.
My parents ran this very controlling house. I ran away a lot.
Skateboarding is more of a family than my family.
How did you get disciplined?
I mean, well, they call it child abuse now, but life might be moving too fast.
We have to fully grow up, and it's gonna suck.
When you're a kid, you just do, you just act. And then somewhere along the line, everyone loses that.
I knew you had some huge weight on you. Skateboarding meant more to you. It was kind of a life or death thing.
I remember hearing screaming coming from your room, and it was like really, really unnerving.
One of the last things I said to my dad was that I hate you.
You can't just have a child and abandon them. Life doesn't work like that.
I just don't want him to grow up like me. I just want to hide. I just want to run away. That's what the drinking is about.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I need to just move on.
I wish you could. I wish that I could do over.
I could seriously be on the verge of having a mental breakdown, but as long as I'm able to go skate, I'm completely fine.
It's just a really great, endearing movie with a skateboarding theme, and yeah, you just got to watch it. Number 14, Mid-90s. This is another coming-of-age movie, kind of coming from, as it suggests, the mid-90s. Kid growing up, having troubles in life, and skateboarding, and the friends he finds through skateboarding being his refuge.
Get the fuck out of the front of my store.
Fuck you!
Fucking here. Yo, I'm out. Stay out of my fucking room, Stevie.
Skating like shit today, man. Looks cool to me. I'm moving. Stevie.
Check the script. Me and the girls getting whipped. Runs in the bed, 40 dogs. Hey, y'all not supposed to be around here. Get the fuck out.
Hey, the little nigga with the Toys R Us badge, come here.
You can't say nigga, I don't think. You fucking Sheryl Crow looking motherfucker.
This is awesome. I've never been in a car without someone's mom or dad before.
You're so cute. You're like at the age before guys become dicks.
Oh, fuck!
Yo, what
bad.
the fuck?
Oh, shit.
You think you're pretty cool. Your ghetto ass friends.
You good?
You think you're tough and shit. You're just a little fucking kid.
A lot of the time, we feel like our lives are the worst. But I think if you looked at anybody else's closet, you wouldn't trade your shit for their shit. So let's go.
That's why we ride a piece of wood, like what that does to somebody's spirit.
Hey, Papa! Stevie, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm fucking taking your shit!
Again, it's just a great coming of age kind of movie, and one that you can watch with anyone, even if they don't skateboard. So there you go. There's 14, well, actually way more than 14 if you count the episodes of the series, but that's 14 things that you could be watching that's skateboard related just to pass the time. I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, any that I've missed out that I should have mentioned. Maybe I'll do another one based on the comments, and maybe you'll be telling me some that I haven't seen before. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you like this video, and I'll do some more. Take care and stay safe.